Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Talkin Wrasslin podcast with your host, the macho-loving, cornet carny, little munchkin Daddy Val, and the Jacksonville wrestling fan, whose favorite wrestlers, of course, are forever and always will be the Young Bucks, Lyssie Val. Together, these two give a retrospective of the week in the professional wrestling world throughout all promotions across the world. So let's jump into this week's episode. Oh my God!
Hello. Hi. Welcome to Talkin Wrasslin. I'm Dylan, and this is Lyssie.
Hello.
Lyssie's in a mood.
I am in pain. I am in so much pain.
And this is Talkin Wrasslin.
It sure is.
And we're going to talk some wrestling and stuff, and
we sure will.
we're going to do things. I'll let the cat out of the bag right out at the start because of the title of the episode. It kind of gives away a lot. So the Wrestler of the Week is Nigel Mcguinness. We'll go over Wrestler of the Week towards the end of the episode like we usually do. But the reason why this episode is called Nigel Mcguinness is because this episode has a big focus on Nigel Mcguinness.
It really does, which was, incredibly unpredictable.
Because we talk about him in the AEW portion of this podcast. He's involved in our flashback match of the week. We watched his documentary. So it just felt right. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But with that being said, we also have other things. We got a little bit of wrestling news. We're going to talk about the PWI 500.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not look at the list.
I have the list, don't worry.
Oh, thank goodness.
All out star ratings. Some Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown. And yeah, we're gonna talk some things, so it's gonna be fun. But Lyssie, how was your week? All right, back to you.
I mean, I didn't really do much. I spent $500 on my car. That sucks. I went to work today. I got a bloody nose. I pulled some sort of muscle in my back, probably. So I don't know, my back is killing me. And the Jags just lost, so...
We're recording this on a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. I'm having a terrible day. But, I mean, aside from spending $500 on my car, I got to spend time with my dad, which was cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I went shopping with my dad. So it's always nice to see my dad.
How was shopping with your dad?
It was fun. You know, we got some breakfast. We shopped around. He got me some stuff for work, like some pants and some shirts and whatnot, a pair of shoes. And then we got lunch, and then my car was done. So then I got my car and paid them $500 fucking for my car.
That's good.
I mean, the rest of the week was just boring. Work, more work, work, more work. Work. Yeah.
Work.
I've been up since 3:30 this morning, and it's 4 something now, probably. I don't know what time it is.
It is 4:38.
Yeah, it's 4:38, so I've been up for over 12 hours. I'm exhausted and over it.
Man, it's just weird. It's I said it to myself earlier. I was talking to myself earlier when I was watching football. But I was like, man, Sundays, ever since because I had jobs that I would work Sundays, or I would be wrestling on Sundays because we would do shows on Sundays most of the time. But ever since I don't have a job that's not I'm off on Sundays. I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays. And ever since I stopped wrestling, Sundays have become my really, really lazy day because no matter how much I sleep, I can go to bed. I think I went to bed around 10:30 last night. Mm-hmm. And then I woke up around 10 o'clock today. So that's almost 12 hours. But I'm still tired no matter what. Every Sunday. I never want to do anything on Sundays. It's just a weird day. Sunday is a weird day.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you picking up what I'm putting down?
Not really.
I also smoked, like, I took a big hit of my pen before this fucking
cool
podcast. And I've been listening to a lot of, like, weird podcasts.
Okay.
Like Theo Vaughn. And all his podcasts is just them talking about random shit. So here I am trying to turn this podcast into that.
You picked a terrible day to do it because I don't have the brain capacity for it right now.
Anyway, that was my week. Oh, was that it with your week? Right?
Huh?
Was that it with your week?
Yeah.
So my week. It was boring. I don't remember doing anything exciting.
No, I don't think anything exciting happened this week. Next week, though, is going to be ridiculous.
No, we got Dynamite.
We got Dynamite. I'm getting a tattoo.
When's that?
Friday.
Then we got Post Malone the week after.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then summer's over with, thank God. Let's move on to wrestling things. Enough about me. So this was a big fucking thing during the beginning of the week, like Monday and Tuesday. And it feels like this was already, like, this happened like 3 weeks ago, because, like, no one's talking about it again. I'm gonna read it how I have it written down in the notes, because then we'll explain everything. WWE selling Punk's bracelet, and it's gone. And it's back with CM Punk's name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So the friendship bracelet that Punk wears, that's been like the whole fucking story between him and Drew McIntyre. Made by a fan, and it says Larry, his dog's name, and AJ, his wife's name. And WWE was like, you know what? Fuck it. That's a hot merch seller. We're going to sell the exact same bracelet. The exact, verbatim.
Exact color pattern and all.
Yeah, pattern, color, and Larry, AJ's name on it, so, like, other people can just buy this bracelet with another man's dog and wife's name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Only for $9.99.
Yeah. Didn't even let the person who made it, like, know that they were going to do it. Didn't even give them, like, a heads up about it. Just kind of did it, which, like, I don't want to say had some controversy to it or whatever, but a lot of people were like, oh, well, this girl didn't, like, invent friendship bracelets or anything. It was like, no, she didn't. But also, like, this was, like, a personal gift to somebody from a fan. And, like,
literally a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah, like, she didn't. But, like, I feel like even if WWE didn't want to, like, give her royalties for it or anything, because, like, literally they wouldn't have the merch item without her existing and making it for Punk. Even if they didn't want to give her royalties for it, I feel like they still should have, like, let her know, or even been like, I know she did mention, like, they reached out to her and, like, offered her to go to a show or something, but it wasn't in any sort of correlation to using the bracelet. Like, I feel like they should have at least been like, hey.
Yeah, I think it was something where it was like,
thanks for making it.
Thanks for making it. Here's free tickets to a show, I think.
Yeah, and, like, I feel like they could have at least been like, hey, we're interested in selling this item, like, as for merch, and since we're aware of who you are and we know the person who made it as per prior, you know, invoice being sent to you, we're willing to, like, give you tickets to, like, Bad Blood or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And, like, if you are okay with us selling the merchandise. Like, even if they don't want to pay her, I feel like they should have at least offered her something like that. Or they should have, like, just fucking asked. Like, are you okay with us doing this? You know? Because if she, even if they didn't give her anything and she was, like, okay with it, like, you know?
Not even that. It's just odd that people are like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this with another man's wife and dog on it. Like, name on it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna wear this. I don't know Larry or AJ, but I'm gonna wear it.
And, like, she even said in her post, which eventually WWE ended up doing, was she was like, even if they reached out, I probably would have like given them a suggestion of been like, maybe you should just like make it say CM Punk.
Yeah, and then that's what happened. They took it off the store.
Yeah.
And then, what? Did you want something?
Huh?
You motioned your hand over here.
No, I'm trying to fix my bridge, but I didn't want this to fall over.
Anyway, they took it off the store for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then it was back up on the store, same color and all. It just says CM Punk.
Well, the pattern's a bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, they changed it up a bit. So like it's in resemblance of it, and it's not the exact carbon copy.
And it's like, honestly, that's what they should have just done from the start.
Yeah, like I mean, it it is what it is. But like, there's nothing wrong with like inspired by something that has to do with your fucking show. But like when you're blatantly ripping off a fucking personal present a fan gave someone, I feel like that's a little just weird. But again, to me, it's no shock that like WWE isn't like actually like they do one thing that's like involving a fan of like using the fan made bracelet to like actually get people like involved in the fans invested in it, and then immediately like kind of fuck over the fan.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty typical WWE.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess to add on to this really quick is like, what's up with both fucking companies like doing shit merch? Well, AEW's getting better with their merch now, but
yeah,
like
AEW finally listened.
They gone through a phase with their shit merch.
Yeah.
And everything, but it's just like what the fuck we doing? Anyway, we forgot to talk about this on the last episode, so I wanted to bring it up and just see if we had any thoughts on it or anything. The Vince McMahon documentary that will be on Netflix. I don't know when, but it'll be on Netflix.
Well, whatever.
Which is crazy.
If Vince McMahon has a part in it, I don't give a shit.
I think we're gonna watch it obviously to see what people say, but it being called Mr. McMahon makes me think that it's a lot of in-character stuff.
Probably.
So, we'll see what fucking happens. Anyway, we had a good off-air conversation about this. So maybe we can bring it to on-air. The Motor City Machine Guns are heavily rumored now. It's like heavily rumored that they are NXT bound and will be debuting on the debut episode of NXT on CW, which is the first Tuesday in October.
Mm-hmm.
Lyssie, what are your thoughts on the Motor City Machine Guns going to NXT?
My thoughts are still conflicting. And it's not necessarily of like, oh, I'm happy for them, but I wanted them in AEW. Because it's not even that. It's more so of like, part of me is like, you have Motor City Machine Guns. They're a fucking big name in tag team wrestling, and instead of putting them on the main roster, you're deciding to put them on the fucking developmental when your tag team roster is suffering very heavily on your main roster, and these two could be a huge fucking asset to your main shows, i.e. either SmackDown or Raw, and I feel like that's a really fucking stupid idea. But then the other part of me is like, well, it's great to help develop the young tag teams in NXT, and they're really good people to be doing it. So I understand why they would put them on NXT to help out and also maybe even like bring viewers down to NXT because of the name value of them. And then like, you know, actually get invested in all these other people that are on the fucking show. So like, I get it as to why, but also I feel like I don't know. Not that I feel like them going to NXT is like them not, you know, is like discrediting them or anything like that. I just think that like, I mean, I guess technically either place that they would have ended up would have had some sort of positive effect anyway, but I just feel like it's really weird not having them go to the main roster.
Yeah, I understand that. But like I said off air, you gotta think about their age.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Sabin has 2 fucked up knees, 2 torn ACLs at one point. Alex Shelley, not the same as it used to be. They can still go. They're still the Motor City Machine Guns. I still love them and all. And, like, yeah, it'd been cool to see them on the main roster. Of course it would. And everything. Maybe they have, like, a run on the main roster after they do whatever they're going to do in NXT. Maybe. But it seems like they're taking NXT on the road now. With them being on CW. So they're trying something new with NXT, which we're going to watch. We're going to watch, see, like, what it looks like and everything. So we'll be reviewing that on the upcoming episodes and everything like that. But you got to take into account of their age and everything, and they're going to help the younger talent. But also I read that they're going to be, like, the main tag team on NXT, where, like, they're going to win the titles. Yeah, which is great and all. But yeah, they're going to help. They're going to help and like I said, maybe WWE is starting to fucking notice that their tag division is absolutely garbage. Because they do nothing with both sets of tag belts. Maybe this is Triple H's fucking long-term story plan, because he's fucking we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning with everything. So they're probably in the bottom of the 9th, the tag division, where it's like, all right, we have all these teams on NXT. We have all these other people in the Performance Center. Motor City Machine Guns are coming over. Here's what we have on the main roster. We got to build up our main roster. So let's have the Motor City Machine Guns help these younger teams out, and then we're going to shoot them to the main roster and help out this tag division. That's what part of me thinks it would be. It's WWE, though. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, they could just blow us all away and do, like, jack fucking shit with them and absolutely make them into a joke.
They're going to have Alex Shelley turn on Chris Sabin, and they're going to feud for the Speed Championship.
Yeah, the day they debut.
What?
The day they debut. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah. That'd be insane.
Also, how the fuck did the Steelers get a touchdown before the Jags?
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, man.
Anyway, moving on to everyone's favorite topic and discourse when it comes out. The PWI 500.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to read all 500 names.
No, we're not.
No, I only have the list of 27, but we're not even going to talk about like 27 of them anyway. So the PWI 500, it's a list that comes out every year, and wrestlers say that they dream about it, and then there's some that say, I don't fucking care about it. And then you get, like, my favorite thing about it is the unknown indie talent being excited that they got, like, ranked 420 or something, and they're like, I made it on PWI 500 420. Please check out my latest match here at Heartland Pro Wrestling, Ohio. Not knocking them. Like, I it's good for them. But I just, like, that's my favorite thing about it. Because it's like, yo, who the fuck are you?
Jesus Christ.
You're like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is this fucking John Jinkenheim Schmidt guy
His
from...
name's my name, too.
Yeah.
From PWG.
Yeah. But anyway, there's always discourse, because of course there is. So, we're going to read the top 10. And we're going to go through the top 10. Of, like, who should be in the top 10 and, like, maybe who shouldn't not be in the top 10. Alright? So, number 1's Cody Rhodes.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm fine with Cody being number 1.
No.
Who should be number 1 in your opinion?
No, genuinely, I do think Cody probably should be number 1 because he finally had to finish his story.
Yeah, you gotta take
when
I say these names, take into effect everything that they have done this year. That's what I mean. Yeah. Well, in the past year.
Yeah.
So Cody Rhodes number 1. Number 2, Swerve Strickland.
I want to say yes solely based off of his feud with Hangman.
I'm not saying number 2. Top 10? Yeah.
He did make history.
He did that's what I'm taking into account. But I'm just taking into account the title reign and things he's done in between that.
Yeah, but a lot of people disagree with you about his title reign.
Yeah.
You are the minority in that conversation, Dylan.
That is true. But do I put him at like 6 or 7.
I don't put him that low. I think he deserves top 5 for sure. I'm fine with him being 2.
Number 3, Will Ospreay.
Stop chewing so loud. You're chewing so fucking loud.
Number 3, Will Ospreay.
I realistically might have flipped Will and well, you know what?
Will belongs up there.
I would give Will the option to give Cody a run for his money. For number 1, honestly.
I think if he won the AEW title, he probably would have been like...
Or Danielson.
Danielson is not in the top 10.
That's stupid.
We'll get to that.
That's stupid.
Yeah, we will get to that. That's why I have Swerve ranked lower in mine than I would because Danielson should be in the top 5, but he's not even in the top 10. Danielson's 14. We'll say that. But
that's awfully low for somebody who has an award named after them.
I'll read some of the shockers that made it in the top 27 that I have here. But number 4 is Seth Rollins. He had a really good world title reign. He was hurt. He was the MVP of WrestleMania. I put him at number 5.
I'd put Seth in the top 10, but probably not 4. And I love Seth.
Okay. Number 5. Naito.
I can't say much. I don't know what he's been doing over in Japan.
After what I saw at Forbidden Door, no.
Well, I mean that's the usual 25% America that Naito gives. So I'm not counting that. I mean he did win the G1, right?
No, Zack Sabre Jr. did.
No.
Naito won last year.
He won last year, and then he won the IWGP belt, and then
had a horrible match with Jon Moxley.
Well, I'm sure the ones over in Japan weren't bad. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, aside from that, what else he has done over in New Japan, because I haven't been paying attention to New Japan. But in fairness, I will say that him winning the IWGP belt was a long time coming, and a lot of people were waiting on it and expecting it, so it is kind of a big deal. So I get that for that alone, but again, I don't know what else he's done. So
number 6, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest's title reign wasn't that great. I'm gonna be so for real.
I would have him in the top 15.
And frankly, I don't really know what else he has done well enough to qualify him in the top 10. And again, I love Damian Priest, but like all throughout the year, it hasn't just been Damian Priest that's been making waves. It's been the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So, and I get it that he is like the name face aside from Rhea. But is this just men?
This is just men. The women's one's not out yet.
Because I was going to say, like, no, honestly, I would have put Rhea over Damian in the top 10.
A lot of people are saying Rhea's going to be number 1 in the women's list.
Probably, yeah.
So, I don't know when the women... I always forget when these lists drop. It just happens on Twitter, and here I am.
Yeah.
Because they still have the tag team one to come out with and all that, too. But this one is like all the awards.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to win the Bryan Danielson award?
Probably Bryan Danielson.
Oh, no, well, that's Dave. This isn't Dave.
Yeah, I know.
Number 7 is MJF. Honestly, I'd have him right outside the top 10, like 11.
What has he done this year?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, really, what has MJF done?
Like...
He was gone.
Like, to think about it, this list comes out in September, so it goes from September of last year to September of this year. He was the world champion.
He lost his belt. He was injured.
He was the world champion. Had a very shitty fucking storyline that everyone hated. Everyone. Lost the world title and was out most of the time. And then feuded with Roosh.
Yeah. Like, what's he done?
Yeah.
I mean, he had solid matches, I'll give him that, but that was really it.
Maybe I'm even being too nice putting him at fucking 11. Shit.
Yeah, I want...
Shit.
Frankly, I probably wouldn't even put him in the top 25.
Nah, I'd put him in like top 20 at least. Top 20. Number 8 is Jonathan Moxley. Mr. Romper Stomper.
Again, what memorable has he done?
Yeah, he's like top.
His feud with
top
Naito,
20,
maybe.
Like top 20, top 25. Number 9, I don't agree with. Should be way higher, like top 3. Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther should be way fucking higher than that.
Yeah. And number 10, Mystico.
I don't know what he's been doing.
He does cool things in Mexico.
Yeah.
So like some shockers here. 11, Samoa Joe.
I mean, his title reign was fine. You know what I mean? And he did play a decent part of a story in Hangman and Swerve, and he was a good heel champion for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and his stuff with Hook and Shibata is fun.
Sami Zayn's at 12.
I feel like he should be higher than that, but...
Mm-hmm. Drew McIntyre's at 13. I think from September to September, or like whenever this is, that's good. Next year, higher.
Yeah, I don't think he's done more, like, up until the shit with Punk. You know what I mean? Like, prior to, what was he really doing? So I get that.
Danielson's at 14.
That's fucking stupid.
He should be higher.
That's so fucking stupid.
Moose is at 15. Sonata at 16. Jey Uso at 17. Do you agree with Jey Uso being that high?
No.
Where would you put him?
Top 50, maybe?
Top 50? Wow.
Because, like...
He's over as fuck, and I mean, yeah.
Okay, half of it was the bloodline shit that, like, has gotten old. The other half of it was him running around yeeting.
You know what's funny about this? Since you said bloodline, I only have the top 27. Roman's not even on the top 27.
Yeah, well.
A part
championship.
A part of me wants to find.
Where's Jack?
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna try to find the whole list here. Hold on.
Because I'm about to call some bullshit.
I'm gonna try to find the whole list here, and we're gonna read some shockers. We got a lot of time we can fill up on this podcast. So what takes? Oh, okay. Oh, it gives me like shit that takes into account. The evaluation period is August 1st, 2023 to July 31st of 2024. Taking into consideration is win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability. So, with that being said, El Hijo del Vikingo, who's been injured, like, for 9 months, is at number 18. Okay. Mustafa Ali's at 19. I agree with that.
Okay, good for him.
Eddie Kingston at 20. Okada at 21. And Nick Nemeth at 22. Congratulations. Adam Copeland at 26. Christian Cage 29. Hangman Adam Page 42.
That's fucking bullshit.
Higher, you think?
Way higher.
I'd put him a little bit higher.
Again, we're putting Swerve at number 2 and Hangman at 42.
Yeah.
When one of the reasons Swerve's so high is because of how over his fucking feud with Hangman has been. Because every other feud that Swerve has had, not saying the matches weren't good, but didn't have the same type of connotation and prevalence, Whereas that storyline with Hangman has reigned through Swerve's quite literal entire reign and prior to it.
So where would you put Hangman?
I would put Hangman in the top 10. I would put Hangman in the top 10 fucking easy, because we're also talking about...
I wouldn't, because of the championships, the prominence in AEW.
His prominence is always high in AEW.
When he's there.
When he's there, he had a fucking baby.
That's the thing. He was away for a little bit too. You gotta take that into consideration.
But when he came back, and how he came back, and who he came back is immediately fucking skyrocketed him and Swerve's fucking feud back up.
I'd put Hangman at like 16. Right outside the top 50.
I think that's fucking low.
Anyway, I got 3 good names in a row here at 51, 52, and 53. Joe Henry, Braun Breaker, and Oba Fem.
Where the fuck is Jack?
I'm getting there. Randy Orton at 55. AJ Styles at 56. Kevin Owens at 58. And clocking in at 59, Jack Barry.
No.
He was away for a long time.
He wasn't away. He was in New Japan.
He was away for a long time.
No.
Takesha's at 67. Kyle Fletcher's at 65.
That's so fucking stupid.
Bro,
that's terrible.
I'm going to read these 3.
Are you fucking serious?
65, 66, 67. You ready for this? Kyle Fletcher, Solo Sikoa, Takeshita.
Solo Sikoa is not more prevalent than fucking Takeshita. I don't give a fuck if he's the new tribal chief. No, he sucks as the tribal chief. The only reason he even has a decent prominence in WWE is because they're fucking dick riding him. The fans don't care for him. The fans don't care enough about him.
Clocking in at number 69, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Nice.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think Dom should be a lot higher.
Dom should be like top 15, bro.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Matt Cardona, 77. Daniel Garcia, 87. Okay, now this is getting fucking ridiculous now. Chad Gable's 89.
Stop hitting stuff. Still recording?
Yes. Chad Gable is 89.
That's
dumb as fuck.
This list is fucking bullshit.
Oh, it gets more bullshit, because at 9, I'm going to read 90 and 94. Here, I'll read 94 first. 94, Jacob Fat 2. 90, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho doesn't deserve to be in the top 100.
Top 500. Darby Allin, 97. Pac, 112.
How do you even manage to rank this?
I don't know. Effie, 122.
Effie deserves to be number 1.
Jordan Oliver, shout out, 133. Good job, Jordan. Oh, I guess some women do make the list, probably because of GCW. Billy Starks, 150. Joey Janela, 165.
Sorry about the motorcycle, if you can hear it.
Should Joey Janela be higher?
No, I have no idea what Joey's been up to.
Dan Hounsen, 203.
I have no idea what Dan Housen's been up to.
He's just doing stuff in GCW.
Oh my god!
They've eaten the fuck out of each other?
Ghost just shoved Dee Dee out of the way.
Almost. 233. Wardlow, 246. I'm trying to find like random ass names. Flip Gordon, 313. What the fuck? Trent Beretta, 331. Do you agree with that?
No.
Ricky Starks, 352.
Well, what's he done?
That is fucking true.
Anyway, this list is stupid. I don't care anymore.
Number 420, a guy named Danny DeManto. Bam Sullivan's a cool name. We got 500. 500, oh yeah, is the fucking Blue Cane.
Oh yeah, Blue Cane.
They have him as meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they can't write Blue Cane. So they have him as meme. What the fuck? I hate this fucking bullshit list.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Anyway, let's talk about more stupid shit, and that is all out star ratings. From Dave Meltzer. These star ratings are fucking insane. Osprey versus Pac. 5.5 stars.
I agree.
Me too. I'll agree with Dave. Oh man. Danielson versus Perry. 4 3/4.
Yeah.
I give it 4, not 3/4.
I think 3/4 is a little generous.
I give a 4.
I'd give it 4.5, because I really think Danielson made Perry look like $1 million, and I feel like Perry also made Danielson look like $1 million. Not that you need to make Danielson look like $1 million, but like I was saying during the whole match, like Perry was just ragdolling himself around. You know what I mean? And like really, like just the extra little bit of that, like really just added a lot of dimension to it. And really made it look like he was beating the absolute fucking living piss out of this shithead. So, I mean, again, like, there wasn't a big story going into the match at all. But even without, like, a big fucking story going into it, the match was still fucking great. You know what I mean? So, I'd say 4.5. I'd get a 4 3/4, but I'd give it 4.5.
I thought my phone was broken, but I forgot. I'm looking at a screenshot. I was like, my phone says it's 9:18. Like, it's not 9:18. Statlander versus Willow. 4 3/4.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I give it 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Swerve versus Hangman. What do you think Dave gave it?
Well, clearly we're going down, so 4.
4.5.
Incorrect.
I give it 5.
I'd give it 5.
I give it 5.
I'd give it 5.
Garcia versus MJF. 4.5.
I'd say 4.
No, I keep it at 4.5. I agree with Dave.
It was a good match, but
I agree with Dave.
in comparison to the ones we were just talking about, like, even though it is, well, I guess, you know, I can't even really say it's that much of a different style, because, yeah, Jack was ragdolling himself around a lot, but Jack and Danielson still kept it really fucking technical in their match. I mean, I don't think they kept it as technical as MJF and Garcia, but if we're comparing the two, you know what I mean? Like I feel like Danielson and Perry outshined it.
I don't think so, but the Continental 4-Way. 4.5.
No.
I give it like 3.5.
Yeah, I'd probably say 3.5 or 3 1/4. Like it was good. It was a good fun match, but it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, in fairness, when we get that Okada versus Takeshita match, that's gonna blow the fucking roof off the place. But
Bucks versus BCC. 4.
no.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Honestly, again, good fun fine match. We've seen the match before though.
And Monet versus Sheeta. What do you think Dave gave it?
What did you give Britain Monet? Did he even rank it?
He did. We went over that. It was like fucking 3, I think. Not even.
I think Monet and Sheeta was better than Britt and Monet, so if he gave it 3, I'd say like 3.5, 3.25.
I didn't give a fuck about this match. I didn't watch it, so I'm not even gonna give a ranking on it. But Dave gave it 2 3/4.
That's stupid. If that's lower than the Britt and Monet match, that's fucking bias and bullshit. That's absolute bias and bullshit.
Can I find?
Because Sheeta and Monet overall, it wasn't a fantastic match. Wasn't the best match on the card at all. But it was the match itself looked better. It presented better. It was played out better. It was overall just a better, cleaner fucking match. Whereas Monet and Britt looked like they didn't want to wrestle each other.
No, actually, Monet and Britt was rated worse.
Okay, good.
2.5.
Yeah, it should have been rated worse. Although I still think 2 3/4 is a dog shit fucking ranking, and no.
Fucking Dave Meltzer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Raw. Let's start off with the main thing here.
Is that all the matches that ranked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
Let's talk about Raw, though. And let's talk about the main thing that caused a lot of discourse, and is still causing a lot of discourse, and we're also going to cause some discourse about it, and that is Raw is going back to 2 hours from October 7th to December 30th. That is when the time that they would have been off of USA, but they signed a deal. I guess there's some other show that's airing between the 10 and 11 slot, so to compromise for it, Raj is going to go to 2 hours for that time before they go to Netflix. We still don't know what the fuck is going on with Netflix, if it's going to be 2 or 3 hours or whatever the fuck, but a lot of people are pissed off about this, and a lot of people, including myself, are very happy about this. And for the people that are pissed off about this, you guys are dumb as fuck. I understand. Oh, more talent and all of that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, but you guys were literally bitching fucking years and years ago. Everyone has. Years and years ago. Raw doesn't need 3 hours. It's too long. It needs to go back to 2 hours. It's better. It's better. Yes. And they're finally fucking doing that. Fuck you, you dumb fucks. Sorry. Lyssie, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, I think 3 hours is too much. It's like pulling fucking teeth, honestly. Couldn't even fucking tell you really what's going on Raw.
I guarantee you the show will run smoother. And plus, they're not even going to give a fuck what they do. This is going to sound bad. They're not going to give a fuck what they do from October 7th to December 30th on Raw. You know why? Because they're going to Netflix after that. They're going to care about what SmackDown is doing on USA.
Yeah.
And shit. But there was some cool things that happened on Raw, like the opening match. The Wyatt Six versus the American Maid. I almost said males. American males. American males. American Maid in a 8-man mixed tag team street fight. Or 6-man. No, it was 8-man.
It was 8-man, yeah.
We watched this. And boy, they went crazy. What do you think of the Wyatt Six?
I like them.
Like, they can wrestle, bro.
Yeah, I like them.
Like, they defeated all the fucking negativity that I threw at them. Of, wait till the bell rings.
It's not stupid shit, you know what I mean?
It's just, like, I like the concept of it is, like, they're humans. They're just really fucked up humans that want to work. Like, they think they're a part of Slipknot.
They're in a cult, Dylan. That's the whole thing. They're in a cult.
They think they're a part of Slipknot.
They're in a cult dedicated to the reiterations of Bray Wyatt.
What do you think of American Made?
Sure, fine, whatever.
I love it. Chad Gable comes out with the American flag because they're in Canada.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Crazy. And then we had... this was crazy that this happened on a Monday night because they were in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, so they needed to have the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be Bret Hart there. He came out, and a part of it was to announce that he'll be or that Survivor Series is coming to Canada. And then Gunther came out and said that Goldberg's his favorite wrestler.
And I love how in kayfabe, Sami Zayn has heard enough when you tell Bret Hart that Goldberg is his favorite wrestler.
He comes out. And also, Sami was wearing Johnny Hockey. Rest in peace, Johnny Hockey. He's wearing his jersey, which was really cool and all of that. But, yeah, I find it funny. Goldberg's my favorite wrestler. I have heard enough. What do you think of Sammy and Gunther feuding for the belt, the world title now?
Sure.
Gunther's gonna get his win back.
Yeah.
Because I think the rumors are true. It's gonna be Punk and Gunther at Survivor Series. Which, oh man, Punk's gonna die.
No, that's how he gets the fourth wheel knocked off.
Oh no, Gunther's gonna hurt him. But yeah, what did you think of Bret Hart being there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right, let's move on to Dynamite. We got two things to talk about that, man, there's just a lot. And these two things kind of blend into each other because you'll get why in a minute. So Darby Allin and Jon Moxley had their talk.
Mm-hmm.
And their talk was Mox wants the world title shot that Darby has.
Yeah.
And Bryan Danielson probably won't be able to make it the Grand Slam. So Mox...
Yeah, he was suffocated.
Mox said, you're going to challenge me at Grand Slam and the winner will get that title shot.
And Darby was like, okay.
And then, like, 2 segments later, Nigel Mcguinness comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you know what? I want to face Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam.
I want to face Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam.
And everyone was like, what the fuck did Mariah May do? She kissed him. He comes out, wrestles out all in. Fucking Oasis reunites. Oh, and that's the other thing. Oasis is gonna sing him to the ring, supposedly. What?
I bet you $20 he didn't even talk to Tony Khan about that. He just said it and is hoping it happens now.
Like, yeah, there is a lot of confusion here of like, wait, but like the segment before was literally Mox and Darby being like, yeah, Danielson ain't gonna be there. And then Nigel's like, I'm gonna fucking wrestle him anyway. Yeah, that makes no sense, but like, I'm gonna let this one slide because I'm very happy that it's happening.
I think it makes enough sense.
It's a non-title match too.
Well, not only that, but I think it makes enough sense of the fact of like Nigel Mcguinness has taken it upon himself to make Bryan Danielson look like a fool and shit talk Bryan Danielson this whole time, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Is he's trying to embarrass him, and because he's like, oh, Bryan's not gonna show up. You know, like, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to look better than Bryan Danielson because I am better than Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson's going to be pulling a fucking oxygen tank behind him and be like, Nigel, no, I'm going to beat you. And then Nigel's going to be like, shit, man, I got Oasis together for this.
I'm letting this one slide because, man, we're getting Danielson and Nigel again. What the fuck?
Do you think that this is Nigel's, like, final match?
Yes.
You think that this is it?
Nigel ain't gonna ever wrestle again after this. This is literally...
You don't think he's gonna, like, just randomly on a rampage one night decide, I kind of want to wrestle, and then just, like, show up once every, like, 7 months?
Maybe, but I don't think so. I think this is just Nigel getting... Because we'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
This is Nigel getting that closure.
Yeah.
And he gets to have it with his best friend.
Yeah.
Who is also probably, this will be like his third to last match. Second to last match. Like, he's on his retirement tour.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he might appear on a rampage every 7 months, Danielson, because it's just full time.
Yeah.
But this is probably like the only time that these two fucks can do it. So why not?
Yeah. So
the stars that have aligned. And Oasis is back.
It's crazy that we're going to have to rewatch this match. Because we're not going to see it live.
We're going to be at Post Malone.
Yeah, we'll be at Post Malone.
Post, you got to stop for like 5 seconds.
What if he puts it up on the Titantron?
That'd be insane.
He's like, guys, I'm a wrestling fan and this is happening right now. So we're going to take a short intermission.
That'd be insane.
Watch this match.
We're going to have to watch that back. But that's okay. We'll watch it back when we get home and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Are you, Lyssie?
Yeah, and I'm happy for him. You know, because again, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but like...
They get the fuck in the middle of that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Like I've said a lot of times on this podcast, like, I wasn't aware of Ring of Honor's existence until a very, very long later time in my life.
You guys gotta play Buffalo next week. Ooh, on Monday night.
I'm gonna kill myself, dog.
Don't say that on the pod.
I don't care.
Now we gotta censor that.
I don't care. I'm not censoring shit.
Oh my god.
But, you know, I wasn't aware of Ring of Honor's existence for a very, very, very long time. So... my knowledge of Nigel Mcguinness is slim. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, I still understand that this guy got fucked, like, 10 times over and never actually, like, got the spotlight that he deserved. Like, yes, he had the spotlight in Ring of Honor, but, like, on the big stage, like, he never
taken away from him. Yeah,
it got taken away from him, and he didn't really get to end his career, like, the way he wanted it to. Like, I'm sure, like, in some degree at the time, maybe more so at some degree now, he was happy to go on the retirement tour he did, but it wasn't what he wanted, and he shouldn't have necessarily even have had to go on a retirement tour.
Well, no, remember, well, you can't say he was mad, but you gotta remember, we'll talk about it, but you gotta remember, after the last match he had on that retirement tour originally, he made that video in his car where he just broke down. And
yeah, exactly.
All the frustrations came out.
So that's what I'm saying, like, maybe now, like, or even, like, a couple months ago, like, before Wembley even happened, maybe, like, finally came to that closure of just, like, yeah, I shouldn't have needed to retire when I did, and I should have been able to, like, go on to be more successful, like, financially successful, I should say, in my career than I did. But at least I got to, like, you know, say goodbye the way I said goodbye, but maybe it wasn't always the way he envisioned it. Maybe it wasn't the way he always wanted it to be, and it doesn't seem like at the time of the documentary that it was.
Yeah.
And now he finally gets to have more of a say on a bigger stage to, like, really say goodbye. So, like, that's, like, the important part to me about it. And it goes with, like, the same thing with Danielson. Like, Danielson had his career taken away from him by no choice of his own, really. And he got to come back, wrestle, and now he gets to actually end his career the way that he wants it to. So, like, to me, that's the most important part of it.
Against his boyfriend.
Against his boyfriend.
I didn't turn on the vape. Taking a vape break, hold on.
But yeah, no, it's kind of wild.
Oh yeah, no, it's surreal that it's happening. Like, it's
out of nowhere.
And, like, the Dynamite that we're going to is literally the go-home show to all of this. So, like, maybe we'll get something.
Yeah, we might.
But let's move on to SmackDown, because we actually, like, watched SmackDown for once.
Kind of.
Yeah, there's, like, some things to go about. So they're back on USA. Mm-hmm. And they have a new logo and a new theme, and the logo I like. A lot of people don't like it. I understand, like the and the theme sucks.
I'm not a big fan of the theme itself, but I think people are overreacting a lot.
Yeah.
But the new logo is terrible. It looks like it says Smack Sound. Fucking stupid ass logo.
And then we had Cody bleeding inside a steel cage to open the show against Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
And he won. And then Roman came out.
And he went, ooh, ah.
Yes. And then I said to Lyssie, Roman versus Jacob Fatu is a money match. Because, like, so, like, Jacob Fatu was, like, on top of the cage, and then he, like, spawned out of there when Roman came out.
Disappeared. Much like how Jack Perry disappeared, and then Jon Moxley appeared.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Just a very odd spawning situation going on in professional wrestling right now.
And then, like, the rest of the story of SmackDown was Solo and Jacob Fatu made an offer for a tag team match at Bad Blood against Roman and Cody Rhodes, and Cody was like, absolutely fucking not, because I'm done with the bloodline. And then later on in the episode, the match was made official. Cody was like, I'll be Roman's tag team partner. So at Bad Blood, we're getting Solo and Jacob Fatu versus Roman and Cody. Well, that's crazy.
Cody's like, I remember how much I love lying.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing during the whole episode. He was just lying.
And also RVD was there.
Uh-huh.
That was crazy. And
I
then
like that RVD just shows up at random places.
And then I wrote this because this was just kind of funny. Who's Kevin Owens' partner? It's Ricky. Wait, no, it's Randy.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens. So, and we weren't really watching that match, but I saw a thing on Twitter. He's so fucking smart and funny. So, you know the hot tag spot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how they do it typically. And, like, they have to go across the ring to make the fucking tag, right? Kevin Owens is trying to do the hot tag. He's getting beaten down. He rolls out of the ring, runs halfway out of the ring, back into the ring to get closer to his corner, then tags Randy Orton in. It was so funny. And so smart. But yeah, that was SmackDown. And I can't believe we're not even an hour in yet. And, like, we're on, like, the main subject of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not talkative. I'm just not feeling
Well,
the best.
you'll be more talkative, probably. So the main subject of this podcast, we're going to start with the flashback match of the week. And that was Nigel Mcguinness versus Bryan Danielson from Ring of Honor, Glory by Honor 2009. The last ever time they faced each other.
Uh-huh.
We watched this. Lyssie, what did you think about this match? This was at a time where Danielson was leaving for WWE, and so was Nigel at the time.
I really liked the part where Kenny Omega came out.
Everyone came out.
That was wild.
Everyone came out at the end of this
Jump
match.
scare, fucking Jesus Christ.
Everyone came out at the end of this match.
No, it was a good match. I mean, the thing is, like, I've seen at least bits and pieces between, Nigel and Bryan, and it's always good shit, you know what I mean, from what I've seen prior to. So I wasn't expecting anything terrible going into this match. I was like, well, this is going to be a straight up fucking banger. Obviously. And I was right.
They beat the fuck out of each other, bro. They absolutely beat the fuck out of each other. They always do. You can find any Nigel and Danielson match on YouTube. There's a whole playlist of all their matches. Every match is a fucking brutal fucking disaster.
Yeah.
It's not a disaster in a good way. They beat the fuck out of each other, bro. I love, like, when we were filming last week's podcast, we were watching the unification match. And that's the infamous match where Nigel fucking gets busted open over the ring post and shit. I really hope Nigel brings back the blonde tips. That'd be insane. But it's such a good match. I think he should.
Why not? He could re-dye his hair back.
Danielson and Nigel are two goats.
Mm-hmm.
Two fucking goats. What did you think of Danielson in 2009 with his hairstyle?
Oh, the mop hair is so much fucking better than when he was bald.
Yeah.
Honestly, Nigel and Danielson are the original wrestling soulmates.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the term wrestling soulmate, that's them.
That's fair, yeah. They always have fun.
Like, you always know them going into the ring. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane, and it's a matchup you're never going to get sick of.
Yeah. I'm excited for Grand Slam.
Yeah.
And then we decided to watch, I wanted to show Lyssie this. It was the Nigel Mcguinness documentary that's on YouTube. You can find it. It's called The Last of Mcguinness. It's a documentary that he filmed himself when he went on his retirement tour a couple years ago. And the whole gist of it is he tells his story. And he goes all to these indie promotions and has one last match against his friends from past or up-and-comers and stuff like that. And I forgot how sad this was.
This is the worst thing you ever made me watch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because it was fucking heartbreaking, dude. This is the saddest fucking thing I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why so? Explain.
It was just so fucking sad to like, cause you think about like we were talking about earlier, like about how, you know, Danielson and Nigel and many others like got their careers basically cut short by no fault of their own, and like in general enough that's like sad to think about. But then when you actually watch somebody in like their final stretch, like basically giving up their career, like because they don't really have any other option to go to, and plan A, B, and C all failed, and now they have to basically give it up when there's really no reason for them to be giving it up, like and like just watching it happen almost essentially in like real time, like in a documentary form, is so fucking sad. Like watching this person not only say goodbye to this thing that they love, but also watching the emotional torment that they're going through the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, it puts it into a completely different fucking perspective. Not even really a perspective, but it puts it in a completely different light that, like, you don't ever really see. And then when you finally do see it, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, again, I guess if it does put it into any sort of perspective, it puts it into the perspective that I feel like a lot of wrestling fans need to actually sit down and fucking really think about, and is the fact that, like, all of these people that you see on TV or that you watch and whatnot are simply just that. They're legitimately fucking people. Like, they're actually human beings with emotions, with feelings, with thoughts, with their own viewpoints of their own. And you don't ever really get to see too much of that side of things because, like, everything's always put on for a show. But then when you pull the curtain back and actually fucking see, like, the real person being affected by these things, it's something fucking different, you know what I mean? And it's something that a lot of people don't ever actually take into consideration. Like, you can sit and criticize as much as you want. You don't have to like everything. You don't have to like, you know, certain wrestlers or certain styles or this, that, and the other thing. But for people to, like, genuinely, like, witch hunt these fucking people is just insane to me. It's fucking insane. Again, I'm not too familiar with Nigel Mcguinness's career. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't watched every single match that he's had in Ring of Honor. And, you know, I don't know too much about, like, his history in wrestling. Aside from the fact that he's a fucking goated wrestler from what I have seen of him. But just watching that was just genuinely heartbreaking.
Nigel Mcguinness is one of the biggest, like, top 5, for me at least, what ifs in professional wrestling. Because, like, you got to see what he did in Ring of Honor. You got to see what he did in TNA. That was a big what if. A lot of factors played in, like, TNA. Because he went into TNA around that time where Hogan and Bischoff had it. Russo was there, and it was okay, but it wasn't. They were trying to turn it into WCW, but he had a great feud with Kurt Angle. He was Desmond Wolfe. Okay. I actually didn't know that his fucking actual name was Steven.
Yeah.
Until, like, a couple days ago. But his Ring of Honor run's always goated, and it always comes back to Danielson and all of that, and of course. And, like, he's great on commentary. I remember him in NXT on commentary was fucking great. But it just fucking sucks witnessing someone as good as Nigel Mcguinness almost literally make it to WWE with his friend Danielson. But he got it. That didn't happen because he had a previous underlying injury. And then he went to fucking TNA. And then he was in TNA. It was hepatitis B.
C, I think.
Or was it C? Was it C? It was one of he got hepatitis, but he doesn't even know how he got it and stuff like that. It's like probably just from blood and all of that and everything. But he was able to get cured from that and everything. But the underlying fact is the concussions and everything, and it's sad to see.
He got let go.
And he got let go,
He got let go from TNA, and then literally, 2 days later, he was cleared.
Yeah, he was cleared, yep.
And, that's just, the biggest fucking like, jab in the heart about it all.
Yeah.
Is, like, there is actually... I understand the concussions, and at some point he probably would have had to retire sooner than later to begin with.
Yeah.
But, like, at the time, it was like, now, quite literally, there is actually no reason that he shouldn't have a job. And for being as good as he fucking is, there is literally no fucking reason that he should have been let go.
100%. Like, it's just crazy to think. Like, I always think about, like, man, what, like, I think we were talking about it. Like, what if Nigel actually went to WWE? And I was like, well, around that time, I don't know how that would fucking go.
Yeah.
You look what they did with Danielson. Nigel would have fucking been Danielson would have been the yes guy, and Nigel would have been the no guy.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. But
he still would have fulfilled that dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it wasn't, like, everything he's ever wanted, at least he could have still, like, fulfilled that dream that he had as a kid.
Yeah. And, like, it's sad to see, like, what we were talking about. He had his last match, and he was done. That was it. And then he just snapped one day.
Literally, like, the day after.
Yeah, he just snapped. He made a video in his car just fucking letting it all out.
Because, like, he had that final match and was like, I think I'm good with it. And then, like, literally woke up the next day and was like, no, I'm not good with this.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I don't think he should have had to ever try to convince himself that he was good with it. You know what I mean? Like, and I get, like, throughout the whole documentary, he's talking to people about his career and everyone's saying, like, well, yeah, I mean, sure, you didn't make it to WWE, but, like, you know, look at all the good things that you did do. And, like, while I agree with that sentiment that, yeah, he did become a huge fucking name, especially, like, in the really, like, big, hardcore, like, you know, wrestling fans' name. Like one of the greatest of all time.
The smart guys.
To the smart guys. Like, that, not necessarily saying that wasn't his dream, because I'm sure his dream was to still be, like, you know, well-known, yada yada, this big wrestling star and whatnot. But his dream overall was always to go to the WWE, to make it to where at the time was the biggest milestone of them all, and he literally had that dream in his hands and it got taken away from him.
Yeah.
So, like, well, I think two things can be true at once in this situation of just, like, yeah, he did accomplish a lot and he should absolutely be proud of every single thing that he accomplished, and I don't think that makes him a failure like he was saying it was. But I also understand where he was coming from of saying, like, I feel like I failed that little kid inside of me who always dreamed of this, and I let that little kid down.
I understand that.
Like, I understand both sides of the coin, and I do think that I don't think overall he's a failure. I never will ever say that I think he's a failure, but I completely feel like he had every single reason to feel that way and believe that, because that was Endgame. That was Endgame. Endgame was taken away from him, and he never got to really live out that dream he always wanted to as a kid.
But they say everyone has...
Ghost, you are in the fucking worst spot of your fucking life right now.
But they say that everyone has their own story for a reason, or however how that saying goes.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason, and everything happened for a reason, and it led to him getting kissed by Mariah May.
And wrestling at Wembley.
Yeah. Like, you got, like, all of this led to him getting kissed by Mariah May, and honestly, I think he won.
Yeah.
He won.
And again, I think now, since the documentary's been out, like, I'm sure to some degree he's come to terms with things and accepted things and whatever. But I still feel like it's important, like, even if he did come, which I don't know Nigel Mcguinness.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I'd like to sit and talk with him. But even if he did, like, come to terms with everything and, you know, finally find some sort of contentness with it all, like, I feel like there's still always going to be that lingering voice in the back of your head of just, like, this isn't the way I wanted it to end. And, like, even though I'm okay now, I'm still wish things were different. And now he gets to kind of make things different.
All because of a kiss by Mariah May.
Yes.
You're a lucky man, Nigel. Lucky man. Anyway, you have anything else to say about this documentary?
It was the saddest thing I've ever watched, and you should go watch it because it's on YouTube for free.
Yes. It's called Last of McGuinness. You can just type in Nigel McGuinness documentary.
Yeah.
That leads us to Wrestler of the Week, which is Nigel McGuinness. My Wrestler of the Week, Nigel McGuinness. It was actually very funny that this was happening. For once, I usually think about like my Wrestler of the Week like maybe the day before we record the podcast. I had this dot out already, like on Tuesday, that I was doing Nigel McGuinness, because when everything was happening on Dynamite, I was like, oh my god, Nigel McGuinness is giving me my Wrestler of the Week.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I already said that today. Like, I had it written down in my phone and everything. Nigel McGuinness will be my Wrestler of the Week. And Nigel McGuinness is my Wrestler of the Week, so Lyssie, take it from here.
How did you first find out about him?
So, watching NXT, which was recently, so it's weird. I remember Desmond Wolfe as a kid in TNA. But, like, obviously he was Desmond Wolfe. And I remember seeing Nigel McGuinness stuff in Ring of Honor, but it was always Danielson and everything like that. And I remember when he appeared on NXT as a commentator, things kind of clicked in my head and was like, oh my god, Nigel McGuinness and everything. I was like, that's Desmond Wolfe. So, I'm just going to say NXT, just for the simpler answer.
Okay. What's your favorite match of Nigel's?
Him versus Danielson from Ring of Honor Unification 2006. So, like, one of their earlier matches.
Okay.
Really good one. It's the one that we were watching last week.
Yeah.
It's a very good one. He had blonde hair. It's for the Ring of Honor Pure title and the Ring of Honor title. It's my favorite match of Nigel's.
If you could pick an opponent, current day, that wasn't Danielson, for Nigel McGuinness to face, who would it be?
Chad Gable.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, he did have his little stint with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes, that too. That would have been cool too. Zack Sabre Jr.
But I would like a full-fledged match of him with Zack Sabre Jr.
That's our bridge.
That is our bridge. Why is our bridge on the news? What happened?
That's one of the new sheets. Oh,
Gas prices keep falling. No, where the hell is that Sheets?
That's the new one on. I can't say it on the podcast. It's the one where Kevin lives.
Oh yeah.
That's that one.
Wow, that's a nice looking Sheets.
It is a nice one.
Yeah.
3 Buds.
Who's that guy?
3 Buds is right there.
All right. Well, anyway.
That's how I know it.
Okay, this weather guy is not as cool as that other weather guy that we saw the other day. That dude was fucking
because
snazzy.
this is WBRE.
It is all of Pennsylvania, right?
Well, so is WNEP.
I don't know what the fuck the news is. Anyway, anyway, how do you feel about Nigel on commentary?
I love him.
Yeah?
I love him on commentary. He is fucking funny, bro. He's a horny motherfucker, too. He is so fucking unserious. It's so good.
Was he like that on NXT?
He wasn't a horny motherfucker.
No, but was he unserious?
A little bit, but he was more so, like, more serious, because also, like...
It's WWE.
It's WWE, but I was about to say it was Vince, but it was also NXT, so it wasn't Vince. Because that was Triple H's NXT. So, like, he was more professional.
If you were to put Nigel McGuinness with any other commentator as a
Taz.
team... That's not who I was going to say.
Taz.
That is not who I was going to say.
What were you gonna say?
Pat McAfee.
Oh my god, that would even be
Could you
Taz,
imagine?
Pat McAfee, and Nigel McGuinness.
And then just put Tony Schiavone in the middle of all of them.
Can Pat McAfee go to AEW for like a day? For a show? Because imagine him losing his shit. Like, he already loses his shit on commentary to begin with, but imagine someone hitting a triple indie. He's losing his shit, bro.
He's never seen it before.
Like, bro, like, a fucking Canadian every week?
He's never seen that before.
Pat McAfee. Yo, the Cardinals are fucking good. What?
Dude, he sees, like, the fucking standing sliced bread that Matt Jackson does, and he just loses it. He has no idea how the fuck that's even possible.
Yo, he'd be able to curse, too.
Yeah, he gets to, like, shit every other sentence.
Shit. Can Pat McAfee qualify as, like, a wrestler of the week?
Have Nigel Mcguinness and William Regal ever wrestled?
Have they ever wrestled?
Because that's something I would have liked to see.
Oh, no, I need to look this up now.
Because if that has happened, I need to find that match. But if it hasn't happened, I need to find a time machine to go back in time and put them together at the same time. Because I don't think so. If I were to think correctly, I wouldn't think that would have happened.
I don't think so. Cage match would be the good one to go to. Nigel McGuinness versus William Regal. I don't really see anything, no.
That would have been a good match.
Unless I'm just not seeing anything, but I don't see anything.
Or put Nigel in the G1.
Yeah.
Just pop him in there.
He wins.
He wins the G1.
He wins.
Nigel
McGuinness versus Kenny Omega.
Nigel versus
A clash of
so
styles.
The clash of styles is always good, though.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying him and Danielson was good.
I want him and Danielson to team up and be friends for a night and go up against FTR.
That would be dope. That would be wild. Yeah, people that Nigel McGuinness would fucking... It would be cool to face. I'm trying to think of, like, other people. I guess we'll just do AEW strictly, because he's in AEW. You know what? This is when Dylan pulls out the AEW roster page.
I'd see Nigel versus Ospreay.
That would be cool. AEW roster.
I'd see Nigel versus Kota Ibushi.
Oh, God.
I'd see Nigel versus Nick Gage.
No, he would bleed. Can't do
no. Nick Gage doesn't have to do a death match.
that is true. He wrestles Zack Sabre Jr. Nigel McGuinness versus Okada. Nigel McGuinness versus Angelico.
Nigel McGuinness versus Hologram.
That'd be insane. Nigel McGuinness versus Daddy Ass. Nigel McGuinness versus Christian Cage.
Oh, dude, this happened in Florida.
Yeah, I told you that.
I didn't realize it was Florida.
Yeah, I told you that. It was Florida.
Insane.
Yeah, I told you it was Florida.
I'm not going to mention what we're talking about, but, man, this podcast is being recorded on Sunday, so you might be able to put the pieces together.
Yeah, I told you it was Florida. I was like, in Florida, this happened.
Mm.
And we were like, oh, well, goddamn, pal. But, yeah, what do you think of Nigel McGuinness? Give me some insight on Nigel McGuinness that you like.
Well, again, I don't have a whole lot of insight of his, professional wrestling career, but I would say he is up there with one of my favorite commentators. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Again, from what I've seen of him wrestle, yeah, I understand why people pick him as one of the best in the world. I understand why people love him. I understand why he's a big name and everything like that. You know what I mean? But, I didn't have that connection growing up with him. Because I'm sure I probably saw him as Desmond Wolfe in TNA at some point, but the recollection is beyond me. I really wouldn't be able to fucking tell you, to be completely honest with you. So, knowing of him on commentary and seeing what I've seen of him.
Can you plug that in?
Oh, God, You're so fucking annoying. Jesus Christ, Dylan. I have one hand available. There's a cat on the one hand. Like
this podcast
I'm literally like
apart.
trapped right now. I like him. I think he's a funny guy. And watching the documentary, like, he's a very real guy, it seems. You know what I mean? So, I'm happy for him.
He's a nice British lad.
Yeah, I'm just really, really happy for him. And I think it's crazy about how much he looks like your dad.
He does look like my dad.
Like, if for whatever reason any of you ever really want to know what Dylan's dad looks like, just look up a picture of Nigel Mcguinness from, like, 2023, 2024.
Yeah, like Nigel Mcguinness now.
Yeah, not, like, back in... I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a picture of your dad back in the day. Maybe...
No, he didn't have blonde spiky tips.
I don't know what your dad looked like back in the day. I've never seen a picture.
He had blonde hair at one point, but
Oh, that's close enough.
he didn't have blonde spiky tips.
But, yeah, no, look at a picture of Nigel Mcguinness, like, today, and that's what Dylan's dad looks like.
Does Bryce send you shorts still?
I have not been, like, going to my email, honestly, and I keep forgetting to fucking upload shorts.
Because I was going to say, I think it'd be really funny if Bryce just sends you a picture, like a short of us talking about this, and it's literally like a picture of my dad and Nigel McGuinness.
Don't dox Dylan's dad. But, no, Bryce, if you are listening to this and you're sending me emails, I'm very sorry. My emails are a fucking wreck right now. And I'm also a wreck continuously forgetting to upload shorts. So, the blame is on me. It's not that I don't appreciate it and I don't want them. I'm quite literally the fucking worst with everything.
Yeah.
Anything else you gotta say about Nigel?
I hope he beats Bryan Danielson.
I hope we get to see him at our show.
And I hope he
What would
beats
you
him.
do if I'm at work day before the show? Because I'm not going to work the day of the show. Because I'm not dealing with that. Like, I'm not waking up early at 4:30 in the morning to go into work and then get out of work and then sleep for like an hour or two and then wake back up and then go to the show. Not dealing with that. So what if, like, the day before work or the day before the show happens and I'm like, I just send you a picture and it's me and Nigel McGuinness?
I'd be like, hold up, let me come.
What if it's like 4:00 in the morning, dog?
I'm coming.
Like, I'm waking up.
I'm waking up. I'll be there. I'd be like, why is Nigel here at 4 a.m.?
Like, I don't know. I don't know how... I would assume they come in the day before. Because it doesn't make sense to have them land the day of and then get there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially where we're at. I mean, there's a close airport, but that's still like a 30-minute drive, you know what I mean? I feel like that'd be much of a rush. And then any, like, delays that happen, like, they gotta show up like a day before. So I'm assuming day beforehand.
Are you gonna go be one of them weirdos at the hotels?
No, God, no.
Want to go take pictures in front of the trucks day before?
Yeah.
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 The parking lot's open. You can.
Oh yeah, no, I know
you
that.
can fucking go right in there.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. But yeah, probably.
You can go up to the hotels where there's trucks too.
No, I'm not. I'm not going anywhere near the hotels. Like, unless there's like a reason for me to be near one of the hotels, I'm not going up anywhere near the hotels. I'm not gonna be that guy. I mean, the thing is, like, you're gonna be at work the morning of the show, so I'm probably gonna end up perusing around town like I normally do when you're at work. But,
Run into the Young Bucks at, like, go to Burlington.
Dude, Burlington's not open.
Oh, yeah.
Burlington's not open yet.
That sucks.
I mean, I could wait outside of the Burlington because they don't know it's not open yet. Matt's gonna be like, oh boy, a new getup at Burlington, and then it's not open, but I'm there. There's like, alright, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
You're like, yeah, see, I'm the discount buck.
What if Darby... Oh, man, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on Darby's fucking social media.
To the skate park, yeah.
No, his social media of... What if he hides a figure in, like, Walmart?
Yeah, because there's a Walmart across the street.
Yeah, like, he's gonna hide a figure in, like, the frozen food aisle.
See, the issue with that is that requires our Walmart to get figures and get a Darby.
What if he just has them?
Well, then he's fucking up their inventory, and that's rude.
Who gives a shit? It's Darby.
That's so true.
That's also true. Our Walmart and Targets need to get fucking figures. They have jack shit, so they ain't getting shit.
Well, look, I'm just saying that, like, if if you see me standing by the Cinnabon waiting for a certain Cinnabon lover, no, you didn't.
Wait, so they better make a joke on the show of like, man, we're gonna blow up a limo tonight.
I'm hoping that Tony Khan, if you're listening, I'm hoping that when Tony Khan comes out, like, to be like, it's great to be here in Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's advertised on the internet of like where the show's. It's great to be here at Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You know, I had a plan for this show, but I felt like maybe we shouldn't traumatize you guys anymore. But I was thinking about blowing up my limo outside the arena. It's a shame that Vince McMahon wasn't actually inside. All right, everyone, get ready for some wrestling. You know. I hope that happens.
I hope he talks about Time Cop again.
Oh my god, I love when he talks about Time Cop.
It's his favorite movie.
It's his favorite movie.
What?
He talks about it at every show.
Well, I think it's because...
You go back in time or go in, like, in front of time. It's because
it's usually when they're taping, like, Rampage or something.
Yeah.
And he's just referring to that because, like, Rampage, I think, is, like, a week fucking ahead or some shit. I don't know.
He's like, we're going ahead of time, like in my favorite movie, Time Cop.
What's my favorite movie? You know what it is?
It's
Time Cop!
Yeah, Time Cop! Duval! You know, and then... Yeah.
He's not gonna yell Duval in fucking Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
I mean, we lost. He might.
Man, I don't like when the Jags lose because we don't get a Tony Khan tweet.
Maybe next week.
You guys are facing the Bills.
Oh yeah, and it's Monday Night Football. Maybe the following week.
You working Monday?
I don't know. I have to check my schedule.
The Eagles play tomorrow.
If I'm working Monday, I'm gonna jump off a fucking bridge.
Lyssie, don't say that on the YouTube.
I'm going to skydive from a bridge.
Yeah?
It's a very short skydiving distance, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that's all I gotta talk about. That's all I gotta say. I'm losing my fucking marbles, dog. I want to play Pokemon.
Yeah, I got.
And maybe eat a bagel.
And I gotta poop.
Okay, well, with that being said, I guess I'll take us out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, following us along, whatever it may be. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at Talkin Wrasslin Pod. That is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. If you think that this is the best appearance of me that you've ever seen in your life and you would like to go follow me on any of my socials, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the same handle, which is Lungtard, that is LUNG_TAR, or my TikTok, which is Lungbucks, LUNG_BUCKS. My TikTok, I post about wrestling content, like I'll talk about wrestling stuff, or I'll do funny wrestling videos, or sometimes I post wrestling edits. Twitter, same thing. I talk a lot about wrestling. I complain a lot. I talk about other shit and post my artwork and wrestling edits and all that fun stuff. And Instagram, I don't post too much on my main page, but I do post on my stories, which consists of wrestling, artwork, tattoos, Pokemon, lots of random stuff that's going on at the moment. My Instagram and my Twitter will probably also be filled with Jaguars stuff for the football season, since football season is back. Dylan, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instagram or the Twitter, now known as X, at Danny_line_Vallo. That is DANI. It's with an I _line VALO_line.
Don't ever not dead name Twitter. That's the only dead naming we accept in this household. If Elon Musk can't accept his trans child, I'm going to continue to fucking dead name his fucking platform.
You got a point there.
Yeah, he can be pissed off about it all he wants.
All right, well, fuck Elon Musk and fuck you guys. No, we love you guys. Bye.
Goodbye. See you next time. Bye-bye.